name's Peter Donaldson, collections assistant for the Grampian Transport Museum, and I also do display cabinets, of which we have one here, which is celebrating the history of ladies or women in early motoring. It's a good time to talk to you about it now because we're just coming up to Ladies' International Day or International Ladies' Day. We have a lot of objects in the museum which are referring to women, and I've always wanted to put a case together to display everything that we've got. And unfortunately, I haven't got enough room here for everything that we have got, because ladies have had an enormous effect on motoring ever since the very early days. Carl Benz, his wife was Bertha Benz, and Bertha was such an inspiration for him because he was a little bit shy, funny enough, absolute brilliant mechanic, but he was very shy and not too fond of putting himself forward, whereas she was. And she actually took his car away one night without him knowing with her two sons, and she drove it 60 miles. Had a lot of things went wrong, and she, as a good mechanic herself, put things right and came back with a lot of news for him that he could put into the prototype car so that it eventually was sold. So there's been ladies there right from the beginning, and we've got a display here with clothing which they wore, goggles which were probably worn by the men as well, but the goggles we've got in here are very soft leather and very nice to put together, and then photographs of ladies involved. The person I probably like most of all is Miss Muriel Thompson, and she was fantastic, as they all were, to be honest. And she was born in 1875 and died in 1939, which was a bit of a pity because she could have lived a bit longer than that for us. But she won a race, which is what we have here, a display showing from the London Illustrated Gazette. And she won a race, one of the early races, in fact, at Brooklands. But she was more than that. She was incredible. She started off driving with the family car because her grandfather was Mr. Thompson, who ran the White Star Line from Aberdeen. And it's from Aberdeen that she came, so she's particularly appropriate to us here. She not only did that, but after driving racing and became very popular at Brooklands, she was a bit unpopular at Brooklands with the management because in the initial race, which was for ladies only, she beat Mrs. King, who was the manager's wife of Brooklands, and they'd all hoped that she would win. But Muriel won the race. But after that, she was very up with what was going on with the suffragette movement, and she actually drove Emily Pankhurst around the countryside with her car. And she was a fantastic lady. And then during the First World War, she actually volunteered and went to the front, and she was very, very brave. And she was brave too. She got the Croix de Guerre and the military medal for rescuing people under fire. And she was under fire as well. And then she died in 1939 of a rather nasty disease. But she's well worth remembering, and remembering for us because she was Aberdeenshire.